I want to sleep more. Here I am, getting to school 1 goddamn hour earlier than usual, just so I can review my notes before class starts. I know I gave myself a goal of being a better student just to rub it in Shuichi's smug face, but I'm starting to think that this is way too much work to be putting up myself through out of spite. No. I can't be psyching myself out so soon. It's only been a week of this. Eyes on the prize, Yuichi. Eyes on the prize. At least things seem to be shaping up a bit now. Now that Shuichi and his mom have reconnected, hopefully he'll have one more pillar of support to help him deal with all the stress he's been taking on. And I can't help but feel a little bit smug myself over how I was ultimately right about things going well with them. I wonder if I'm allowed to gloat about it now. It was definitely inappropriate during the fact, but it's been 2 days already. Surely that's fine, right? Well, if anything, at least I can enjoy a bit of morning breeze before the day gets insufferably hot again, right? It's not much, but it's something. I walk past the school gates, marveling at the amount of people that are already getting to school bright and early. I know this is a somewhat prestigious private school and everything, but I didn't expect so many of the students to be this dedicated. Back when I was still in middle school, I did show up this early before class, but I was one of the few that did it. Seems like a good half or more of the students in this school are super dedicated to their studies. Seriously, how the hell have I been beating these people in the student rankings? I'm starting to understand why so many people are bitter about me getting high grades. While I continue to muse uselessly to myself, I notice two familiar shapes walking out of the main building and heading to one of the adjacent ones. The saber cat stops as soon as he sees me, blinking a few times in confusion before recognition dawns on him. Oh, I definitely don't remember his voice. Whoa, is it really you, Yuichi-san? I thought you were one of those lazy students who never showed up to class early. In a manner of speaking. Trying my best to fix that habit. Good morning to you two, by the way. Oh, to you too, by the way. Morning. I have to admit, even though you've told me about putting in more of an effort, I'm still shocked whenever I see you around here this early. I shock myself every morning when I get up without hitting snooze on the alarm. Don't worry. It'll become a habit soon, and then it won't be so hard. I wouldn't count on that. What are you two up to? Just some boring student council stuff. Clearing some paperwork that needs to be done before the school trip next month. I'll spare you the details. It'd probably bore you half to death anyway. Like, we finally managed to clear the budgeting issues we were having last week. Now we need to work on making the reservations on the hotels and airlines we chose. Not to mention start drafting the papers to send the students' families so they can sign with permission for them to even go. It's fine for most seniors since they're over 18, but we still need permission for a parent or guardian from juniors and freshmen. I swear, all of this would have been dealt with much sooner if we didn't have to budget around taking the juniors to a much more expensive location than everyone else. Not that I'm complaining since I get to go too, but it's pretty unfair that the school scheduled such a more lavish trip for the junior class simply to posture around that guy. He probably already has enough money to go wherever he wants. Why does the school have to use funds they don't really have just to look better for the rich dude? Don't they know we're the ones that have to balance the checkbook? It's not like that money appears out of nowhere. Even though he said he was going to spare me the details, he immediately launches on a rant about it regardless. Either he's really indecisive or he really wanted to vent about it. Kasama-kun, you're babbling again. Oh, sorry. I tend to run my mouth a little bit when I get worked up. But, yeah. That's about the gist of it anyway. As you can see, a lot of work needs to be done and it's pretty stressful. We're lucky Prez is stuck around with us, especially now that most seniors quit. The gist? I feel like I just got the extended, unabridged version. If that's just the gist, then I'm afraid of finding out just how much stuff they're currently juggling. I see. You guys certainly have a lot on your plate. I'm sorry you've been put in that situation. To be fair, I didn't even stop to consider that Kei-kun being here would alter the school's plan for the trip. I guess that explains why his class gets to go to all the expensive places. Now that I think about it, all classes got taken on an international trip when I was a freshman. But after Kei-kun joined our school, we've only had much cheaper trips. We went to the Chiba prefecture last year and stayed in a pretty average hotel while the freshmen went to Hawaii and got taken on an excursion through the island while staying in a resort hotel. And this year it seems the juniors will be going to Paris to visit the Louvre, Eiffel Tower, and other places while us seniors are being taken to Okinawa to see an aquarium. Man, the bias is really apparent here. Though we should probably get going. The other members are already waiting for us in the student council room, and we only have so much time before class starts. Yeah, that's true. Say, Yuichi, do you think we could meet up for a few minutes before the bell rings? I was hoping to get your opinion on something. Oh? Sure, what about? I'll tell you then. Really, Press? We're already pressed for time and you're planning on leaving the meeting early? Oh, please. Like ending things 5 minutes early is gonna kill us. Are you sure you're feeling well? Do you have a fever or something? Either way, I'll come by your class once I'm done. Wait for me there, okay? Alright. I watched the two walk away towards their destination, quickly tuning me out and going back to their discussion about their work. Those two are definitely quick to switch gears, I'll give them that. How can they focus on their work again so quickly and intensely? That's definitely a bit weird. Are they secretly robots or something? As expected, as soon as I walk into my classroom, I see the usual assortment of early risers that I've gotten used to seeing here in the past week. About half of the class is here this early, which is a shocking enough number. At first, most people were equally shocked to see me here at this time, but the shock has slowly died down over the past week and morphed into mild consternation. I get right to work, pulling out my notebooks and going over my notes. Trying to redo them is proving to be much more of a pain in the ass than I thought it would be. I consider asking Gin to let me borrow his, since they're so detailed and easy to read. But since this is a mess of my own creation, I decided the right thing to do is getting myself out of this hole myself. Besides, my grades are already decent enough at the moment, so I don't need to rush to improve my notes or anything like that. Plus, if I really wanted to show Shuichi off with all my progress, I can't afford to take any shortcuts to get it. I'm not giving him any outs so he can later say, "You only managed to do it because X helped you." Working on my notes is just as much tedium as I expected it to be, and has been my usual before-class routine for the past week. Especially considering that they're such a mess and so incomplete that I had to check out a bunch of books from the library just so I can find a way to add the stuff that is missing. There's a lot of cross-referencing involved, and I truly hate that part. Things could be made a lot easier if I looked for answers on my phone, but I remember Saya telling me once before that not all information on the internet is accurate. Psh, what? So I chose the old school, more annoying method of research. If only because I know this one has been curated by professionals and stuff in here is 100% approved by the school. Honestly, I should get a prize just for going through all this trouble. Before I notice it, time begins to fly by. The seconds turn to minutes, and soon, 40 minutes have already passed. Nice. I'm almost done with the history section. By this point, I've gotten pretty used to tuning out the side of the door. The sound of the door opening and closing as more and more students arrive due to the impending bell ring. Except this time, my attention is quickly whisked away by the sound of the chair immediately next to me being dragged. When I turn around, I see the familiar figure of a tiger throwing his bag on top of his desk and slumping down on his chair. Whoa, June! I didn't expect you'd be getting back to school today. Morning. Yeesh. Are you alright? You look even more out of it than you did yesterday. I'm fine. I'm just really tired. We managed to get the whole group together yesterday to celebrate Keisuke's birthday. We went to the movies, karaoke, dinner. The whole thing was a lot of fun on its own, although it felt like June was only going through the motions. He didn't seem anywhere as excited as he usually is and looked exhausted most of the time. That's what you said yesterday. It was also true yesterday. Truth be told, I went even though I wasn't feeling 100% yet because I didn't want to be the only one missing Keisuke-san's birthday. But that kind of worked against me in the end. God damn it, June. You need to make better choices. I know. Hey, Kobayashi-kun, you're back. Morning, Jin-san. We were starting to think you'd kicked the bucket. Glad to see you walking with the living again. That's a bit morbid. Don't say stuff like that, Jin. That's terrible. What? Get off my ass, will you? I'm just saying that I was worried. There are better ways of saying it. It's alright, I don't mind. I appreciate your concern. Here, I baked you a cake last night and brought a slice with me to school. You can have it. What? But you brought this for yourself. Don't worry about it. I still have the whole thing back home. Besides, it's a way to celebrate you being back. Yeah, he's already gonna pig on the entire cake later anyway. You should take this for his own health. That's mean, Jin. I guess I'll accept your gift then. Thank you so much. You don't have to look so shocked. We're just glad to have you back, Kobayashi-kun. Yeah, besides, things get really dull here without having you to settle arguments between me and Ryoji. Have I become the official tiebreaker between you two? Yeah. Jin sounds almost gleeful, giving June an exaggerated thumbs up over the whole thing. I see. Well, we'll talk a little bit more later, okay? I still need to go with Jin to the faculty office to talk about a few low grades he got. You don't need to announce that to everyone. It's not like they can't see your grade on the notice board in the first place. As soon as the twins walk out of the room, another pair gets up from their seats and walks up to us, having noticed June's arrival in the classroom. Kobayashi-kun, I'm glad to see you're back. Are you doing well now? You must have been really sick to take an entire week's absence. It's fine. I'm doing much better now. Thank you very much. Are you sure? You still look a bit tired. You have bags under your eyes and all. And it's gotta be really bad since I can tell, even with the spot you have around one of your eyes. I do? Yeah. Have you been sleeping well at all? It's kind of a mixed bag. Wow, I'm surprised to see you looking so worried, Nekonishi. You barely even talk to most of the boys in class. Jun-kun is different, though. He is? How come? By the way, I took the liberty of making copies of my notes this past week to pass them along to you whenever you came back to school. It's not much, but this should help you catch up on the subjects you missed. Whoa! That's gonna be a big help! Thanks, Ayako-san. If you want, I have some melatonin I take sometimes when I'm having trouble sleeping. I don't have it with me, but I can bring you some tomorrow if you'd like. It might help you with those bags under your eyes. Oh, is that stuff safe to take? Sure. It's just sleep hormones. Over-the-counter stuff and all that. Just don't take it too often. Take it for a few days, and once your sleep schedule starts getting back to normal, wean off of it again. It goes down well with a glass of warm milk. Oh, that actually sounds really good. I'll accept it if you're really offering. Gotcha.
I'll make sure to bring some tomorrow.
Jeez, I'm not used to seeing her being all nice like that to other people. Is this a dream? Am I imagining things? Oh, hey, Jun-kun. Whoop, looks like there are more people wanting to talk to you. Come on, Kyo-chan. Let's give them a chance to talk to him without crowding the poor boy too much.
Yeah, that's fair. He just got back from being sick and all that. I'll bring you the thing tomorrow, okay? I'll talk to you later, Kobayashi-kun. Feel free to come to me if you have any questions on the material. Alright, thank you so much.
No sooner do the two girls walk away to another pair walks up to June, equally as happy to see him. I swear, it's like an endless parade. What the hell's going on? Jun-kun, I'm happy to see you back. I was getting really worried by the lack of updates. It's been really boring without having you around. You and I talk about games almost every day. What do you mean it's been boring? Kumagawa shrugs, lowering his console to raise an eyebrow at me. It's not really the same. Kobayashi knows a lot more games than you do. Wow, I'm not sure if I should feel offended by this or not. Are you doing alright? Do you have a fever? You're not still sick, are you?
Relax, I'm fine. You don't have to worry so much about me.
But the last time you ended up having to go to the hospital. And this time you were gone for a week.
It's not like I hit my head again, you know? I stayed at home resting.
I guess that's a little bit better. You're way too fussy.
What? That's simply not true. What have you two been up to this past week?
I've been looking around town for a yukata. I've even got Keisuke-san to help me and everything.
A yukata?
Yeah, for the festival.
Festival?
Yeah, I started playing this new game called Muv Dove Revenge of the Shadow Kitties. Wanna see?
Ooh, that name sounds really interesting. Show me.
Hey, I was in the middle of a sentence. Those two immediately get lost in their own little world, completely zoning out the presence of the fox who huffs and pouts where he stands. Over the next few minutes, a lot more students start gathering around the back of the class, all of them wanting to get a few words with June. Wishing him well, telling him they're happy to see him again, that sort of thing. Jeez, when did he get so popular? I wind up getting up from my desk and walking away, if only because the sudden crowd forming around is feeling a bit too claustrophobic for my tastes.
Couldn't bring yourself to stick around?
I walk to the front of the class, stopping near the class rep's desk. She looks up from her book with a contented smile, wagging a finger in the air along with her words. Yeah, it got to be a little too much. I didn't know so many people wanted to talk to June.
Really? Haven't you noticed before?
Noticed what?
That Kobayashi-kun has become a sort of unofficial class mascot? He's well liked by most of the class.
Really? You're right, I hadn't noticed that. Aiko-san giggles, covering her mouth with a crooked index finger.
I guess you don't pay enough attention to notice. It started pretty slowly, but it's almost like once he managed to settle into your group, he started interacting with more people little by little through you. Now he's loved by nearly everyone.
Damn. You go, June. Now that I think about it, I guess June really is the kind of guy that I'd picture being surrounded by lots of friends. He's likable, cute, bubbly, energetic. He really is the type to be popular after all. I guess we're very different in that regard. We might just be very lucky to have June walking around as a permanent member of our group. If I'm not careful, he just might end up being poached by someone else. I sneak a quick glance at the door once I hear the sound of it opening, drawn away by my curiosity, especially now that I don't have my notes to focus on and keep me rooted. I see Shoichi's head peering inside, looking around the room for a second before his eyes settle on me. He raises a hand, making a gesture to call me over with a smile on his face. Oh, sorry, looks like I'm being called.
Don't be late for class. I'm just gonna be outside. When I step out of the classroom, I see Shoichi leaning against the wall, waiting for me. Due to the time, the hallway is already mostly deserted, with the majority of students having headed to their individual classrooms now that the bell is so close to ringing. Hey there. Hey, you said you wanted to talk to me. Right. Shuichi muses for a few seconds, a low humming noise echoing from his throat. Smacking his lips, he looks straight at me, his expression quickly changing to a dejected sigh. Well, this is kind of a delicate issue, or more like a difficult one. Now might not be the best timing considering what happened the last time we talked. He raises a hand to his cheek, scratching it awkwardly and looking away from me, letting those words hang in the air for a while. I wanted your opinion on how I should formally announce my quitting the volleyball team. What? I'm caught completely by surprise by the sudden broaching of the subject. I knew this was something Shoichi had been thinking about. He'd even mentioned it briefly before. But now of all times? Last week, he was so adamant about postponing the announcement until he could try convincing his dad again. Come on, why this all of a sudden? Weren't you going to try convincing Takahiko-san? You know I've already tried. You know how that went. Yeah, but isn't that throwing the towel way too early? Oh, easy. Okay. Easy? You think this is easy? It sucks. You don't think I'm broken up about it? I'm just saying, maybe try one more time? Get more things that could help you convince him. Maybe if you look up how athletic scholarships improve chances of getting in, that could be a big help. I don't know. I'm kinda tired, Yu. I don't want to keep getting my hopes up for something that's not gonna pan out. Don't say that. You love volleyball, don't you? Yeah. Then you should keep trying. If it's something you really love doing, how can you give up on it that easily? You. Come on, big guy. One more try? I know you want to. Okay. I'll put a pin in this subject for now. I'll look up the data on that. I already know what universities I'll be applying to, so I can reach out to them and ask directly about it as well. Maybe I'll ask for Mom's opinion on it. She knows Dad best. She might have some insight into a better way of convincing him. Maybe I could even contact the scout from the Panthers that approached me and ask him to make a written offer that I could present to Dad. Yeah, that's all I'm asking. Don't give up yet. You still have a lot of options at your disposal. Thanks. I really do appreciate all your support. Ah, come on. It's not a big deal. Actually, it is. Huh? I know I can be a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. I know I can have a temper. It's hard for me to talk about certain things because they hit too close to home or they're a sore spot or something. I don't want you to feel like you have to stand on eggshells around me. It's just that with everything going on, it's hard to think straight sometimes. I'm under a lot of pressure, Yu. From all sides. School, sports, the council, at home. It's hard. I know. I'm here for you with whatever I can do to help. Sometimes I might do or say things that you might not like. I just hope you know that I really am trying my best to help. I know. Sometimes it might be hard to accept and I might need some time, but believe me, I know. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. I understand that. Besides, we're in a good place right now, right? Right.
I think so too. Though I wasn't planning on saying anything because I didn't want to jinx it.
Oops. I guess I screwed it up now.
And here I thought things would work out between us and we'd get married.
What?
Oh my god, relax. Your face got so red all of a sudden. Same-sex marriage isn't even legal in Japan, you dumbass.
Oh. Right, I guess that's true.
You really take the silliest things seriously. You're adorable, you.
Shut up!
Right. No praising. Got it. I should probably get going, though. It was nice to get to talk to you before class. It definitely helped to get an outsider's perspective about this stuff. I'm glad to have helped. You can come to me at any time. I'll keep that in mind. See you at lunch.
See ya.
I watched Shoichi walk away into his classroom, leaving me by myself in the hall. I can't help myself from having a big, goofy smile on my face as I watch him leave, feeling very happy that I was able to help. I walk back to my class with an extra spring in my step, feeling even more energetic now than I was before. Shima-sensei has just arrived to our class, as the first period of the day came to an end. He carries his usual stack of books to the table, dropping them haphazardly on it before turning to greet us. Good morning, class. I hope you all had a great weekend and are feeling refreshed so that we can go at it again. Although before we begin, is Michimiya present? A few heads turn in my direction, but I quickly pipe up from my seat in the back. Yes, sir. Good. I just got word from Katsuragi-san that she'd like to speak to you. She asked that I tell you to head to the faculty room after you're done eating during lunchtime. Huh? How come? Shima-sensei shakes his head sideways, shrugging. I'm afraid, I don't know. She caught me as I was leaving my last classroom and told me something had come up. If it makes you feel any better, at least she seemed happy. Right. That's... Huh.
I guess that rules you out being in trouble, huh?
June whispers from the seat next to mine, leaning over in my direction with a raised eyebrow. That's not a guarantee of anything. For all I know, she's feeling gleeful to have a chance to rake me over the coals again.
What? Really? But she seems like such a nice lady.
She's a sadistic monster. No one has ever yelled at me as much as she does.
That's only because you're constantly pissing her off.
Jin, the second biggest victim of Katsuragi-sensei's lectures, and the person who sits directly in front of June, turns back to look at me with a smug look on his face, the edges of his lips curved upward. Mind your own business, mouse.
Stop barking so loud then, dog.
I know you all in the back think you're being really sneaky, but I can still hear whispering. Could you do us all a favor and be silent? The three of us immediately stiffen up on our seats, looking straight ahead as if jolted awake by that reprimand. The whole thing garners us a few chuckles from nearby classmates, though I don't really care about it. Very well. As we have finished our previous subject of study last week, this week we are about to embark on a new journey, going through a bygone era and studying the remnants of a long-forgotten kingdom, left only as a picture in the annals of history. Just thinking about it is enough to make me feel emotional.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nekonishi speaks up from the front of the class, her voice a mix of confusion and annoyance. It's no secret at this point that she's not the biggest fan of Shima-sensei, and seeing her reactions to him, becomes downright obvious. Starting today, we'll begin studying Babylonian mythology. Did any of you know just how fascinating it is? I certainly didn't at first, but once I started studying, I couldn't put the books down. I was thoroughly enraptured. I've read over 30 books on the subject already, and I am ready to enlighten you all as well. The entire class groans as we all likely come to the same horrible realization.
Shima-sensei has just found another new thing to be passionate about. Somehow the odds of us studying our actual syllabus seems to be getting smaller and smaller. And to start us off on this wonderful journey, there is nothing more fitting than the myth of creation itself. Today I shall teach you all about the Enuma Elish. I hate this. I hate this so much. Man, I thought he was gonna go on and on about that forever. Jun flops on top of my table, sighing dramatically as soon as he brings his chair over like he usually does every time for lunch. All the other teachers in this school are really good, but that guy is still weird. He's good at teaching stuff, but why does he go off course like that so much? I'm surprised he hasn't gotten fired yet. What about students that actually need to learn the right subjects to prepare for entrance exams? He's always been like that. I'm not even surprised. Although I thought for sure I'd seen the limits of where his obsessions with mythology could lead us. Honestly, him finding a new one to obsess about seems so obvious in hindsight. I feel stupid for not anticipating something like this would happen sooner or later. He said that one myth about creation was supposed to be short, and he spent 2 hours talking about the implications of it. I need a break. Good thing it's lunchtime now, then. Good thing I packed karage with me today. I need some comfort food. You pack karage with you more often than not, though. Shuichi and Saya show up right at the usual time, raising their hands to greet us with a smile. Us! Morning! It's good to see you again, Jun-kun. I was starting to get worried due to your prolonged absence. Yeah, I've been getting that a lot lately. You seem to be in a good bet. You seem to be in good mood, too. Saya and Shuichi get to work on organizing our tables, quickly preparing the usual arrangement so the four of us can sit for lunch together. Man, yesterday was so fun. It sure was. It was nice to go out together as a group again. I know we did it not too long ago, but it still felt like a long time. It was a really great weekend, if I'm being honest. For a multitude of reasons. I'm still so happy that you finally went to see your mom again. I want to visit Sachiko-san too next time. I bet she'd be thrilled to see you again too. She spent a long time talking about Yuichi after he left. She did? Oh god, what about? All good things, no need to worry. That's not the point. I wish Keisuke-san would join us for lunch too. How come he never does? 'Cause he's an idiot. He thinks it'd be improper for him to come to an upperclassman's classroom every day to have lunch. We did tell him last Friday to stop doing that, but he kept pushing back on it. I even tried inviting him over directly today. What did he say? We'll see. Oh. Sounds about what I'd expect from Kei-kun. Urishihara has always been like this. It makes no sense. He acts like a huge stickler for silly, unofficial customs that no one cares about, yet he also does his best to ignore actual enforceable rules. Like his unbuttoned jacket, or the purple shirt underneath. Both of those are against the dress code, you know. Maybe it has something to do with control? What do you mean? Like, didn't you guys say before that he's forced to do a lot of things he doesn't want to do because of his family? Maybe he ignores smaller rules like that so he can feel more comfortable by having some level of control over something. Even if it's just his body and clothes. Huh? Wait, what? That's... What? Did I say something strange? But how? Are you really Kobayashi? Jun-kun, do you have a fever or something?
Asaya leans forward on her chair, reaching out her hand to touch Jun's forehead in an attempt to check his temperature.
What's with this all of a sudden?
It's just... You don't usually say... I mean, you're not exactly the most.
Since when are you that perceptive? Ah, I see what's going on here. You all think I'm too dumb to be able to say smart things like that. That's mean. I say smart things all the time.
No. That's a bit... Sorry.
Why does everyone always seem to think I'm stupid?
We don't think you're stupid. Just... Not the most attentive?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what we mean.
Yeah, it's nothing bad.
You guys are horrible.
Sorry. We didn't mean to make you upset.
I'm sorry.
There's no way I could have reacted differently. I'm not used to hearing this level of reflection and insight from Jun. It just does not compute in my mind at all. I'm sorry, Jun. I get the feeling we're still underestimating you even this far into our friendship.
Hey, I just remembered. Do you guys have any plans for the Lunar Festival this year?
Oh, right. The Lunar Festival is at the end of the month.
Lunar Festival? What's that?
A nice save, Sai-chan. The relief is very noticeable across our table as Jun's attention is easily whisked away by the shiny new topic that was brought to his attention.
Yeah, Saitama holds a Lunar Festival every year, sometime around June or July. Last year it happened halfway through June, so we thought it'd be the same this year. Turns out it's gonna be just a few days before the end of the month.
Man, that brings back memories. The three of us used to go together every year when we were kids.
I remember. Yuichi-kun always used to stuff himself with cotton candy and takoyaki and would get sick after.
Why did you have to remind me of that? I feel sick just thinking about it. And yet you did it 5 years in a row.
I was 8 at the time. Give me a break. I'm surprised you didn't know about it, Jun-kun. Didn't you say your family was from around here? Maybe we went once or twice when I was really, really little? I think I remember something like that, but I could be wrong. After I started getting serious about competing, I didn't really pay much attention to that sort of thing. I had very few hobbies outside of the piano. Oh, that's a shame.
Maybe we could go together this year. Yuichi and I actually talked a little about the possibility a while ago, when I took him to the Shopping District's festival.
I forgot they still did those. Don't they get smaller every year?
Yep. But they're still really nice, just on a small scale. It's a good way for them to drum up some movement, too. Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. You even got me General Yamato the second back then.
Did you really name your fish that way? You never mentioned that.
It's in memory of Captain Yamato the First.
He ranked up.
I was originally going to call him General Yamato the Great the Second, but that didn't sound as good.
I don't even know what to say here. Is Yamato that emerald color fish you showed us back in April? That's all you have to say to it?
Yep, the very same.
Everyone's totally tuning me out. Why do we even bother?
That's because we don't want to hear you complain about something we're both fond of.
Whatever. We should still get together this year for the festival.
It could be really nice, yeah. It would be the first time we go with Aki, Urashihara, and Jun-kun, too.
Our group has doubled in size. Yay! I really want to go.
We can definitely discuss plans for it.
Ooh, I know. We should all get yukatas this year, too. Yeah! That sounds like so much fun.
Hang on. We don't know if we're gonna yet. How are you all? Yes, I stand by this 100%. It's not a real festival if you don't have yukatas. Even you? Hey, when we went to the Shopping Districts Festival, I did tell you that I wanted us to dress in yukatas if we went to the Lunar Festival this year. Fair enough. The conversation around the table continues at a breakneck pace, with everyone throwing ideas around for future plans. It seems everyone has gotten enamored with the notion of going to the festival. The chatter has mostly been centered on that while we eat. While I don't really want to go, as I continue staring at my now empty lunchbox, I sigh. No, I can't postpone it any further. Sorry to interrupt the conversation, guys, but I'm gonna need to dip for a while. How come? Did something happen?
Oh, right. You were asked to head to the faculty room after you were done eating, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh no. What did you do this time? Why do you immediately assume it was because of something bad I did? Years and years of experience. Well, I didn't do anything this time. I'm just as clueless as you are.
Try not to piss off the teachers too much, okay?
Seriously, stop assuming I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Stop grinning like that.
Nope.
Whatever. I'm going now. If I'm not back before the bell rings, then I'll see you guys later.
Talk to you later.
Good luck. Oops. I knock on the door to the faculty office, opening it and peering inside. A few faces turn my way, definitely way more than I'm used to seeing in here. But then again, I usually only get called here after class when a lot of the teachers aren't around. I'm still surprised so many are in here working instead of eating right now. Michimiya-kun, please come in. Sit. Katsuragi-sensei, the one that had called me in here, beckoned me over as soon as she noticed me. Weirdly enough, she's smiling? Holy crap, I'm not used to seeing her smiling. She's usually always so stern and harsh when she's talking to me. I'm not kidding, this is low-key terrifying right now. I do as I'm told, hesitantly taking a seat in front of her desk. Katsuragi-sensei fiddles around with a few papers for a second, clearing up space so she can look at me properly. First of all, you really don't need to look at me like that. Like what? That. She points at my face, the corners of my mouth and my cheeks twitching as I try my best to smile. You're not in any trouble. You can relax. I'm not? Oh, thank God. In fact, I called you here for very much the opposite reason. What do you mean? Do you remember how I called you over back during our first day of class to discuss your academic performance? I recall something like that. Katsuragi-sensei shakes her head, placing a hand on her chin and scratching it with her index finger. Well, to be totally honest, I had pretty much given up on you already. What? Seriously? Yes. What were you expecting? I've had multiple discussions with you over the years about your lack of effort, not paying attention in class, declining grades. None of them ever amounted to anything. I guess that's true, but that's something a teacher is supposed to be saying to a student. However, I must apologize for that. I was clearly wrong about you. You were? Yes. Over the past month or so, I've been getting reports from teachers about your increased participation in class, with the most dramatic increase happening 2 weeks ago. I was stunned. Oh, I guess that's true. I've been feeling a bit more motivated lately, especially since I started dating Shuichi.
Although a lot of that was due to me being spiteful and wanting to prove to him that I can be a good student. Your grades have actually gone up as well. While you'd been showing a clear decline of around 2 to 3 points in every midterm since your first year, this is the first time that they have actually gone up. It's true that I've been studying a little bit more lately. Katsuragi-sensei nods, smiling once again. The smile on her face is kind, warm, and genuine. It makes me feel butterflies in my stomach for a second. I've never seen her looking so gentle. It made me very happy to see that development. And it wasn't in just 1 or 2 subjects either. There was a marked improvement across the board. Since your grades when you first joined were so high, you hadn't exactly come at a risk of flunking this far, but at the rate you were going, it really did seem you would fall below passing grade before the end of the year. Really? Yes. Here. During your very first midterm exams as a freshman, your average grades on all subjects put together was 94 back then. Then on every subsequent midterm, they went slowly down. 91, 89, 87, 84. All the way down to 81 on your last midterm as a junior. I don't like where this is going. At the rate you were going, I fully expected you to score around an average of 78 points this midterm. For all of your junior year, your grades were painfully average for someone of your potential. What? But I qualified for the advanced classes and everything this year. That was our attempt of incentivizing your studies. It wasn't based on your current achievements. It was your potential we were looking at. But I even score in the top 30 every year. Only because, with the exception to the 20 or so students already in advanced class, the rest of the school is mostly content with having the bare minimum passing grade. After all, 80 out of 100 is already high enough for most. Well, yeah. Even I didn't see a point trying to score more than that. 80 out of 100 is already a stupidly high grade. It's the school that's way too strict with their minimum passing grade. I'm sure you already know this, but in most cases, students only try to keep the minimum grade necessary to pass at all times. Most of the time, if a student is capable of passing the entrance exam, they're nearly guaranteed to graduate. Yeah. I guess the entrance exam was the hardest one I've taken in my time here. Katsuragi-sensei nods, pressing her lips tightly together. Yet, despite me thinking you were about to start seriously struggling this year, not only has your attitude in class changed tremendously as of late, your average score on this midterm exam has gone all the way up to 90 points rounded down. That's an increase of 9 whole points since your last midterm. Oh. Wow. I didn't know there was such a big difference. As it stands right now, you're almost all the way back up to your original grades when you first joined the school. Back when you could easily place in the school's top 10. Damn. I didn't realize any of that. I guess it's true that even before coming to this school, I'd grown so unmotivated that I didn't bother to check my averages. So long as I was passing, it was good enough for me. Things were apparently about to get bad for me, and I didn't even notice that because I didn't care enough to. Just thinking about that is scary. I guess I've had some more incentive lately. Or at least, didn't feel as unmotivated. Which is great. Whatever it was that caused this change, it will hopefully continue driving you from this point on. Yeah. Oh god, this is really not a good time for me to be hearing this. With that said, this wasn't the main reason I called you over. It wasn't? There's still more to this? What else could she possibly have to say? We have received word from a university in the Americas that wished to scout you for their tennis program. They'd apparently tried contacting you directly, but as you never responded, they decided to reach out to the school instead.
Wait, huh? What do you...
Of course, we've already followed through with checking their credentials. It's an institution based out of Vancouver, Canada. The school is very prestigious in the country and has recently made a push to scout prominent athletes from all over the world. Their tennis program has apparently become quite competitive over the past 5 years, and they've been investing a lot in infrastructure, coaching, development. All of these are certain to be quite beneficial to someone like yourself. That's a lot of information all of a sudden. It's not like I haven't gotten endorsements or sponsorships offers before, but I don't remember anyone ever reaching out to me to try and scout me to their school. I'm sorry, but I don't have any plans to attend college. I plan on growing pro immediately. Yes, I am aware of that. However, I believe it might still be in your best interest to think of their offer carefully. The school is interested enough in you to give you a full scholarship, along with access to the best coaches in their institution, all already paid for.
They are?
Yes. They've also shown a willingness to give you flexibility around your schoolwork so you can pursue your professional debut alongside your own studies. Not to mention giving you guaranteed entrance. No need to take any kind of exam. Is that considered a generous offer?
Sounds like it is. Katsuragi-sensei looks me right in the eye, her face neutral and serious for the first time in the conversation.
It is an impossibly generous offer. The kind most could not even think of receiving. The amount of concessions they are willing to make to have your name among their roster is staggering. The infrastructure is also good enough to put most professional tennis training facilities to shame, according to your coach.
I don't even know what to say. How generous are we talking about?
Would you like me to run you through the numbers?
I nod hesitantly, swallowing loudly and unsure of how to process all this information.
The first thing you must know is that international students such as yourself fall into a different price bracket than domestic students. International students tend to pay a much higher cost as their studies are not subsidized by taxes.
Right.
In that case, the basic cost of tuition, students' fees, and the basic textbooks and materials comes out to around 33,000 American dollars. That is equivalent to 3.5 million yen.
For the entire duration of college, you mean? She smirks, almost seeming pleased to hear that question being asked. Katsuragi-sensei pulls a piece of paper from her desk and quickly goes over it, reading out a few more numbers aloud.
Sadly, no. That is just the yearly cost for tuition and aggregated fees. There is also the matter of living costs. Student housing on campus, meal plans from the college cafeteria, health insurance.
I'm guessing those don't come for cheap, do they?
They do not. They go for an average of 11,000 American dollars a year. Converted to yen, that is around 1.2 million. Altogether, these costs are incredibly substantial, and there are also fees for accessing their training facilities, getting help from coaches, trainers, physicians. All in all, you'd be looking at a cost of nearly 6 million yen a year.
I choke, unable to handle the ridiculously high number that is being quoted to me. It feels as if my eyes could pop out of their sockets any time now.
All of which are being offered in full alongside your scholarship. Tuition, living costs, access to training facilities and staff, relevant fees. All these are being offered to you for free.
I have a hard time believing what I'm hearing. That sounds far too good to be true. That is way too much money being offered to me, essentially for free. I have trouble even running the math in my head to figure out how much that comes out to with the entirety of a degree put together. And are they offering me a 3-year program? A 4-year one? 5? 6? And depending on the answer, it just goes higher and higher. My head hurts. That's understandable. There is a lot of information here to digest. The institution really did their best to put together an unbeatable offer to try and entice you to joining them. To the point where it is clearly foolish to even think about refusing. Yeah. Katsuragi-sensei smiles, lifting a hand to her chin and attempting to hide a quiet snort. Yet, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of refusing it. I don't know. I never thought of going to college before. It was never something that was in my plans. I just wanted to go pro as soon as possible because I thought college would be a waste of time I could spend practicing. She nods, slowly and patiently dealing with all of my questions, concerns, and refusals with a degree of calmness that I'm not used to seeing from her. Maybe that could be true. But as you refuse to be tied down to sponsors, you effectively have zero capital to work unless you get prize money. That means you wouldn't have guaranteed funds to pay for living expenses, rent, food, travel to and from competitions. Not to mention, no access to training facilities, coaches, doctors. All of these are things a professional athlete needs to thrive. Am I wrong? No, ma'am. The school is offering to handle all of that for you. And you wouldn't need to wear their logo on your clothes and make pitches for them. All you need is to be enrolled in their institution and graduate from it. That sounds incredibly generous, yeah. It's stupidly generous, actually. I have no idea how they could even make an offer like this to someone. It sounds way too good. Is this even real? Is this some kind of bad joke? Michimiya-kun, I say this both as your counselor as well as my personal opinion. I strongly recommend that you think about this offer. It is far too good for you to waste it away on pride alone. At least take some time to reflect on it. I believe this kind of environment is exactly what you need to flourish again after struggling for so long. It might do you a lot of good. What kind of program are they looking to get me into? Oh, right, I forgot to tell you that much. You are being invited to join their sports science program. It is a 4-year-long program and would give you a lot of knowledge you might find valuable when preparing your training regimens, working on your mental health, etc. I nod, trying to conjure up any and all memory I have of having heard of this kind of degree before. I think Saya mentioned something about Morisaki-senpai getting a degree like that in his own university. I'm pretty sure that was it. Either way, you've been given until the end of the school year to give them an answer. Please, Michimiya-kun, seriously consider this. It's alright. You don't need to form an opinion now. You have time to think about it. Clear your head first, looking into it when you're feeling less overwhelmed. Thank you. Is there anything else you need from me? No. This was all I wanted to discuss with you. You are free to leave. Thank you, Sensei. Really. She nods, giving me a quick smile before turning her attention back to her computer and the stacks of paper kept on her desk. She's probably far too busy to give me much attention once our matters were finished. Part of me can't help but feel a bit hurt that she was done with me so quickly, but it's not like I wanted to stick around here either. I guess I feel a little bit conflicted. I make my way out of the secondary building, my eyes glued to the floor the whole entire time. I don't even know how to begin to consider the offer that I was given. I know nothing about checking out universities or anything of the sort. My initial plans were to graduate and move to the United States to establish a sort of home base there. Saya and I already knew we'd have family support for at least the first year, enough to rent an apartment for us to share, pay for food and utilities, and get access to a basic local gym and court so we could train. We knew from the get-go that this sort of thing would be risky, but the two of us agreed 2 years ago, after we'd heard that Morisaki-senpai would be attending college at the same time as he maintains his professional career, that we thought it was a waste of time. And yet, when I look at the progress Morisaki-senpai has managed to achieve in only 2 years, I can't completely reject the notion either. It's clear he must have had an incredibly nurturing and competitive environment to have developed that much in so little time. What if the university in Canada is the same? Could it possibly be a good idea after all? There's just so much that I don't know. I hate not knowing what to do. I should probably ask Shoichi about it. He'd probably know what to do. Hell, I already know he'll be insisting that I accept it. He's been hounding me about it for years, how I shouldn't forsake a college degree just because I want to go pro. This would be the perfect opportunity for him to double down on all of that. Which probably means I shouldn't tell him. But then again, would it be fair to be hiding a secret like that from my boyfriend? No. Even if I think dealing with his pushiness would be annoying, I can't justify lying to him. Or hiding things from him. Shoichi might be one of the pushiest people I know, and might still make me uncomfortable at times with how fast he wants to take things. But he's still my boyfriend. I need to be honest with him about just... I'll give myself time to digest the information first. Yeah, that should be a good compromise. While I'm making my way out and walking through the school's entrance courtyard, I see a familiar figure sitting alone on a bench underneath the tree's shade. The wolf is leaning back in his seat, fiddling around with his phone. I consider for a few seconds whether I should approach him. He hasn't noticed me at all yet. I guess it can't hurt to talk to him. He's fun to talk to at times. Like a barely appeased rabid dog. Maybe it's the adrenaline of not knowing when he'll try to maul me to death that I'm find fun. Nah, I'm giving him too little credit here. Maybe. Hello there. The wolf glances up from his phone for only a second, his expression not shifting even in the slightest. Shouldn't you be with your boyfriend right now? I was called to the faculty office. It's not really important. What about you? How come you're not with your saber cat friend? The wolf blinks a few times, shifting in his seat, scowling unhappily. What? You think we're glued at the hip or something? Ouch, I was just trying to make conversation. He sighs, slowly shaking his head sideways and stuffing his phone back into his pocket. I can't have people around me all the time. I need to be alone every now and then. I don't like feeling crowded. Should I leave you alone then? You're fine. Stop being such a stupid worrywart. I like you because you have a sharp tongue and you don't take my shit lying down. If you're gonna be acting all mushy and weird, then I don't know that I want to talk to you. Do you always have to be such a dickhead when we talk? You can't say something nice once in your life? There we go. That's better. Uh-huh. He's smiling now? How come? Wait, was he baiting me into snapping back at him? What the hell? This dude is so weird. I guess if you wanted to be alone, that explains why you're all the way outside. It's nice here. Plus, I know that every time I try to go to the rooftop, there's a chance you'll be there. You really don't sound like you want to talk to me.
You even come here on purpose to avoid me.
Yes. I did want to avoid other people when I came down here. I'm fine now, though. Stop being such a nag. You're not a chick.
I swear to God, one day I'm gonna smack this guy so hard he'll pass out.
Plus, I wanted to eat in peace.
He reaches behind him and grabs a clear, disposable lunchbox. The kind that you buy in convenience stores.
Convenience store lunches, huh? Fancy.
The wolf shrugs, tossing the container on the seat next to him once again.
It gets the job done. Plus, I don't feel like cooking.
Can you even cook?
I have a little brother, an alcoholic father, and a lazy mother. What do you think?
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't... Haruki leans back on his seat, scratching his neck with the same bored look he always seems to have, even yawning a little.
You did nothing. Stop being oversensitive. Congrats on that, I guess. Not like it's a big deal either.
I think I remember Shoichi mentioning at some point that Haruki's father was arrested for being physically abusive. I don't really remember the details, but I guess a lot of things make sense when I think about it like that. At least you take care of your little brother really well, right?
I try. Brad isn't ungrateful as all hell, though. Still love him, though, I guess.
You guess.
But you didn't come here just for small talk, did you? You wouldn't have bothered me just for that.
Oh, I guess I just saw you and thought, hey, there's Haruki, I should say hi. The wolf stares at me blankly, his yellow eyes nearly glowing under the shade, cold and piercing, examining me like a predator looking at prey.
That's probably the dumbest thing I've heard all day. But at least you don't seem like you're lying.
How would you even be able to tell?
You deal with liars a whole lot and you get used to noticing. I'm pretty good at telling when someone's lying to me. Their face and body says a lot. You are super easy to read, too.
God damn it. Does everyone have to tell me I'm easy to read? I'm not a freaking book. Stop trying to read me.
How's the blue dog anyway? You two having a jolly good time?
He snorts as if he found his own joke incredibly funny. I want to feel uncomfortable at him asking about this again, but all I can focus on is the fact that Shoichi was apparently upgraded from the gay dog to the blue dog. Progress? Why does that stuff even interest you so much? Haruki stares blankly for a few seconds, his eyes darting left and right, and scanning my face. After several moments of silence, he finally breaks eye contact by shrugging.
I don't know. Maybe since I had a part in getting you two together, I might be interested in knowing how it's going.
That's not a valid reason. Could it be you just like to gossip?
Hell no. Fuck off with that shit. I don't need to know anything else about you two. Just want to know about the dog.
But why? Dude, you're so strange. Seriously. Ugh, he's just gonna keep hounding me for an answer until I give him something. This isn't even the first time this has happened, so I already know how it'd go. He can be so annoying and insistent when he wants to be, like a dog with a bone. Which I'm sure he'd lunge on me if I ever said that to his face. Things have been going good. I don't know why you're even so interested, but there you go. We've been enjoying our time together quite a bit. Happy? I didn't think it was possible for him to scowl any more than I've seen him do before, but this moment certainly proves me wrong. The look of pure disgust on his face all of a sudden is shocking. Why does he look so irritated by what I just said? Then again, I guess he might just be annoyed that I didn't give him anything to tease me with. He certainly does seem to be that way most of the time.
Ugh. Sappy couple stuff. I was hoping for something a little bit more interesting.
Seriously, why do you even care?
I already told you. Are you deaf or something? Jeez, as if being a fag wasn't bad enough.
Must not strangle him.
What else is going on with you two, though? You guys fucked yet?
Why am I being asked this question by him again? Didn't you already ask me this once before?
Yes, but you said you two hadn't yet. Now there's a chance you might have since it's been a while. Spill.
No, I will not spill. This isn't any of your business. This is way beyond what might be your business. He blinks a few times, his eyebrows lying flat atop his eyes. The edge of Haruki's lip twitches a little, making a fang visible for only just a second.
Oh? Is this just your way of telling me you're too embarrassed to say yes?
So what? What does it matter to you that we have? You don't need to be asking me about this stuff. The wolf stares blankly at me, all traces of humor having completely disappeared from his expression. That's when I realized that while I was trying to get him to stop asking me, I accidentally revealed a piece of information that I hadn't meant to. No, I didn't mean...
Was he a good fuck?
What? My eyes go so wide that they start to hurt a little bit, my face turning redder than it ever has in recent memory. His eyes are completely neutral, no hint of joking or tone or expression.
You heard me. Is he good in bed?
No! No way I'm answering that. What the hell do you want to know that? Why are you so interested in our fucking sex life? Stop being a weirdo. His eyes go wide, his mouth hanging ever so slightly open, staring at me with disbelief. He looks down and away from me, biting his lip. Without another word, he gets up from his seat, grabbing his empty, dirty lunchbox and carrying it with him.
I'm heading out now.
What? Why? What's this all of a sudden? What? You only wanted to talk to me until you could get some information, and that's it? Are you kidding me? Oh, what's going on here?
Doesn't matter.
He walks past me, bumping against my shoulder, showing no sign of stopping or caring about it. Why are you in a bad mood all of a sudden? Hey, Haruki-kun, answer me.
For fuck's sake, you're way too needy. I have better things to do with my day than playing around with your fag ass. Go kiss your boyfriend or whatever and stop bugging me. I told you I wanted to be alone.
I watch him walk away from me, stomping the ground as he does so. I'm left far too stunned to even react to it at all. This was way too weird. What the hell happened just now? The curiosity itself was already a bit strange from the get-go, but now the sudden mood swing? Did I do something? He's never behaved like this before. While I'm standing around and trying to understand just what the fuck has happened, the bell rings, snapping my attention back to the real world. Shit! I have to rush back to the main building, needing to get back to class as soon as possible since the teacher that has the next period is super annoying about this kind of thing. This is a long day. With the end of our classes for the day, the students begin moving out in droves, heading out to their clubs, homes, or to hang out with their friends after class. I finish organizing all my things before I can head out, making sure to check my tennis bag one last time to see if everything is in order before I leave. I feel so completely lost with most of what's been explained in class today. June sighs and whines pitifully, sprawled over his desk. Oops. You were out for a whole full week. I guess that much is to be expected. You think you're gonna be alright? Yeah. I'm glad Ayako-san gave me all those in-depth notes so I can study for them. She even made footnotes and simplified explanations to help me understand. That's good. It's no secret she's the best note-taker in class. People usually always go to her to ask for copies of her notes for that reason alone.
But of course, given her personality, that usually comes accompanied with having to survive her teasing them for needing it in the first place. I remember asking for her for it for the first time last year, and gave me that whole foo laugh and started prodding and poking me with uncomfortable questions, just to get a bit of amusement at my expense. She's a great person, but her sense of humor can grind my gears sometimes, so I made sure never to ask for anything like that afterwards. I think her only weakness is the history subject. Although that might just be because she can't adapt to the kind of history that is taught by Shima-sensei. That was for sure a really nice thing for her to do. She doesn't usually let people have her notes without making fun of them for a bit first. Huh? Really? She's never made fun of me like that before. I know. That just makes me bitter over the unequal treatment. Are you heading to practice today, Yuichi-san? Yeah. The next competition is going to happen soon, so I can't afford to slack off now. I see. Good luck with practice then. Why are you looking so down? Aren't you going to head to the music room to practice yourself? I thought you'd be hyped about that. My parents forbade me from it. What? How come? They said I needed to focus on resting this week and all. They think I don't listen to my body when it tries to give me warning signs. Yuichi-san? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you expecting me to disagree with them over that or something? I'm actually on board with this. What? That's so mean! I want to practice! And it's exactly this attitude of yours that made them forbid you from it. Throwing a tantrum doesn't help your case any either. You were out of commission for a full week. Maybe it's not the worst thing to keep resting to give your body time to recover. You were dealing with a ton of fatigue. You're still not looking 100% either. But I need to practice. I feel fine. That's a little hard to believe, especially when you don't even look me in the eye when saying that. I place a hand on top of June's head, gently running my fingers through his fur and trying to be reassuring as I can. Give yourself a break for a bit. It'll just make people worry about you otherwise. Okay. Wow, that worked? That was easier than I thought. I'm heading out now. See you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow too. I don't think I could do tennis practice too. I need to stop this episode. It's already too long. Such a long day. What the hell? So as always, thanks for watching. I'll be at further confusion next week for you, like 5 people who are looking. If you happen to be there and you see me, say hi. What would the odds of that be? All right. Hope to see you next time. Bye.